So might be a little of a triggering video just to give you a heads up and warning about diving into this topic. I want to talk about the law of attraction with you for just a moment. And I'm going to use an example that could possibly be triggering for you. I know it can be triggering for me, but this is an example that the universe has brought to me to teach me about energy and how we can shift our frequency to be more in line with attracting things we desire or to be the match to something that we want an outcome to. Now, here's the thing about the universe. We have a set soul plan that we created for ourselves before we even came to Earth. Our higher self, our spirit guides are always attempting to get us on that track towards our highest good. And sometimes our highest good does not mean getting everything that we think we want. Sometimes it means redirecting or protecting us from something that maybe could cause us harm. But in our ego or in our desires, we could think, man, I really want that, or I really want to do this, or something is coming up. But the universe will not answer something if it's not for your highest good, or it will allow that to be matched to you. And then you have the consequences to learn from it. And then you can shift your vibration from that. But I don't know about you, but I prefer not to have a consequence to learn something. I'd like to just learn it and have some ease and flow in my life. Not that I haven't had consequences and learning experiences up until this moment. I think we all have. But the law of attraction basically is matching energy. So it's two magnets being pulled toward each other. And the way the universe works is if you imagine a battery, the battery has a positive and a negative part to it. Neither are bad. You need the negative and the positive to create the power within the battery. So if I were to put a battery into something that had two positive ends, it wouldn't give it power. So while we are in our human experience, even throughout the entire universe, there's both yin and yang, light and darkness, and contrast with masculine and feminine energy going on in all places at all times within the entire existence of reality of beyond this experience. So our entire galaxy, the universe, all the galaxies are created with this energy of negative and positive, or yin and yang, or light and darkness, or masculine and feminine. There's so many ways we could label this. But here on Earth, when we want to attract something, we must become the vibration of the attraction. So I'm going to use consequences and money as an example to help teach this to you. And the reason it's going to be triggering for you is I'm going to use Donald Trump as an example. Now, whether you support him or not, I'm not going to judge. I personally do not support this man. I do not agree with him. I do not like the way he's treated other humans. And so anything I say in this video, I'm going to be just outright. If I lose followers, that's okay. With this, I choose love at all times, and I do not believe he's a loving person. So when he is not aligned with love, I do not humanly agree with his ways. So as I speak about this, I want you to be very clear. I'm not speaking that what he does is okay. I'm just going to use him as an example of why his life looks the way that it looks. And I was just meeting with a client about this, and it came up in the session, and it really helped her give an insight to how she can shift some of her mindset to more of a aligned mindset to the things that she desires. So if we look at money, if we look at attracting things and making decisions or having things in our life that we desire, when you are matched to it, it automatically shifts into your life. Most of us were born into a family that either had lack mindset, maybe we were in poverty, maybe we didn't have all of our needs met, maybe emotionally, maybe physically, maybe financially, we have struggles. Maybe you grew up in a home where your parents said, we can't afford that, or that's too much money, or money doesn't grow on trees. And so there's a narrative that you came into this earth and you started to absorb from the people around you. No human, no baby comes into this world and thinks, oh my God, I need money. There's not a single baby on the earth that comes into this experience and thinks, I need money. That is something we develop as we grow older because the system that the world has created is based on this thing called money. But everything is energy. So if you look at money as just an object, as a piece of paper that somebody wrote something on and said, this has this much value and this is what gives you value, we give our power away to money all the time. And when I was going through a big shift in my life, with manifesting and trusting the universe, I was given a great message from my dad, who is in spirit. He came through to me. He was a super tightwad. I will just say that. He very financially intelligent, had really was really good with money, but he didn't have a ton of money either. But he always would hoard or hold back. He didn't really interact with money in a way that was free. So he developed this a little bit of a fear inside of me about spending money. And my mom, on the other side, they were divorced, so there were two different stories going on. She was never had enough. We'd always have to get payday loans to pay our bills. Like it was a constant struggle that we grew up in. I never have enough. I never have enough. And then my dad's like, I might not have enough, so I need to hoard it all. So all these narratives are coming at you, but I didn't come into this world worried about that. I just came into this world to have an experience. And then I started developing these beliefs around money that my parents didn't taught me. And so my dad came through to me during a meditation one day when I was kind of working through fear around money. And he gave me this example and he said, Ange, if you were walking down the street and you saw a $20 bill in a ditch somewhere that had mud on it, had been sitting there for a week or so, nobody knew it was there, that $20 bill does not have any worth until you pick it up. Until you pick it up, it is literally a piece of paper on the ground because it's not being used by you. You aren't putting value into it. So the money didn't just give you value, you gave it value. So we have to switch our mindset from money has value to I have value and I attract value that matches my value. So I give money value, I give it worth, and therefore it wants to come to me because I have what it needs. It needs me to have worth. Now, think about shifting over into Mr. Trump. Think about how he was born. He came into a family that was wealthy. He came into a family that did not have lack. There was likely never any talk around, we can't get that, that's not possible, we can't afford that, whatever the story and narrative. He grew up in a setting where he believed everything belonged to him. He didn't have to work for it. He could do whatever he wanted, and it was his. As he grew up, he had this narrative that continued to cycle through his energy and his mind, and the universe is not biased. The universe is not going to be like, oh, they're working in the ego and they're working out of being a horrible person and they're working out of love. So we're going to go to the one that's in love and not to the one that's not being loving. The universe does not see it. Once you get out of this dimension, everything's equal. I know from our point of view, it doesn't make sense. But once you leave this realm, everything is equal. Everything is light and darkness are the same. There's not a distinct separation. It is merged together. It is one energy. It creates, it combines. It's like the battery, the yin and a yang, the plus and the minus of the battery. It's still a battery. It's one battery. There's no separation in this battery. It just has two parts to it, and the battery causes it to have energy and power. So if you look at and you use Trump as an example, he grows up in this setting where he doesn't think he has consequences. He has anything he wants. He can manipulate, he can control, he never gets any trouble, he never has consequences. He has a vibration about him that in a very narcissistic way that everything is his and he's going to get it or take it in any form that he wants to. And we on our side are like, why doesn't he have consequences? Why does he get the money? We become angry about that because in our mindset, we think, why do you get something when you're a horrible person? And then we have to suffer. So even in that story right there, we're creating our own lack mindset because we're in judgment in some form. I understand. I am in judgment of that as well. But what I'm in judgment of is the fact that he's not loving. And yes, I would love if he would finally have consequences for his behaviors, but he truly does not believe he deserves consequences. And so what continues to happen in his life? He doesn't have them because the universe literally matches our energy. So when you are full belief, like you're unwavering in a belief, that is what you magnetize to you. And he is unwavering in his belief system that he is better than everybody and deserves everything. This is not permission for you to go out into the world and act like this. Please do not hear this. And I ask the universe that this does not get to anybody anywhere on the internet that would ever use this for negative or harm, because I would never want to encourage that. What I do encourage, however, is to stay in the vibration of love and to understand what I attract, I can increase into the world as love. And I don't do negative things. I don't hurt other people, so I don't need to worry about the consequences in the first place. So when you shift your vibration to I am, and it already is, and I am worth it, I deserve this, then the universe is going to begin to show up in new ways for you. Instead of worrying about what is it that could happen or might happen or what if and the should haves and all those things that we create for ourselves, the universe keeps matching that energy. And when we wonder, why can I never change this? Why can I never shift this narrative? Well, because you keep telling the same exact story over and over. And just like my dad said, you keep giving your power and your worth to something outside of yourself instead of owning it for yourself. So, in some aspects, we should all shift a little bit more to be like the beliefs that Trump has about himself of he's worth it. If he can believe that and be a horrible person, surely we can believe that when we're good people and loving people and be able to shift the energy and narrative back to love instead of into the hands of people that are not using it for positive. As the earth shifts, as New Earth continues, this narrative will shift, but we have to get back into the place of understanding that our worth and our power and who we are and our value does not come from anything outside of ourselves. It all comes from within. There's no amount of money that will ever make you a better person. And we see that clearly with Trump. But you can match the energy to attract more to you, to use more, to support more, to enhance more love on the earth. And we see that taking place more and more, where we can see people pulling in donations or having money where they go help people buy groceries. Like there's all kinds of examples on the internet now about this, which I love watching. They're so encouraging. But if those people receiving these gifts could understand that they are worth this and that the universe should continue to do this for them, then we get to shift a narrative around everything on earth, and we get to bring power back into the place of love instead of the place where it shames and harms other humans. So this is just something to think about. Like I said, I know this is probably not a fun thing to think about, and it might be a little frustrating thinking, well, we wish he would have consequences. Yes, I agree. But we also have to understand we all judge ourselves once we leave this earth, and he's going to have one heck of a judgment when he leaves. And that in itself, we do not have control over, but I wouldn't want to have that judgment when I leave this earth. Because that is more like a hell experience than what we probably would want to even understand. So next time you find yourself telling the same story of I can't and I don't and it's not and I need more, whatever that is, shift your narrative back to, wait, I am worthy. And when you find a penny, when you find a dollar bill, when you get that next 20, like, thank you $20 for coming into my life, but understand I give you the worth. You are not giving me worth. And I allow more to come to me because I am the value. I hold the worth. And you just get to be a part of that for me to exchange this energy back and forth between myself and the rest of the humans around me. So hopefully that helps. And if it was triggering, take a deep breath, release. And we don't want to stay in anger. We don't want to stay in all those feelings that come up around this topic because that also continues to vibrate. Remember, everything that you pull in your energy is a vibration you attract. What do you want to attract in your energy? Hold that, believe that, and shift your narrative. Hopefully, this was helpful for you. Until we meet again, I wish you the best day, night, evening, whatever time it is for you. I send you all the universal love. Namaste.